So set to go in a standout game in round 6. Only 4 games being played. State of origin, of course, on Tuesday. Love it out of the middle, down towards half forward. McCartney's in front, knocks it up to his own advantage, then hits it on. Krasiska over the ball, socket away by Obst. Steins an opportunity about 30 metres out from goal. Jim Steins gets the hand pass away. Lovell, little chip kick, just the wrong side of the post.
And Jimmy Steins, of course, starting that pocket area with Doyle taking the first ruck against Monkhorst.
And it started out of the middle where Monkhorst had the ball, but Brett Lovett took it away from him. Here for Collingwood is John Hassel. Teal Cup rover. Whistle's gone.
Yeah, it's free kick coming back, Drew, to Gavin Brown, holding on in the huddle.
Gary Lyon won the toss and elected to go left to right in the first quarter. Oh, gee, Melbourne in front. Neitz takes the mark, slides out the hand pass. Tingay's kick is very wide, close to the boundary line, and Schwartz can't keep it in, and we'll have a throw in on the 50. Tingay making a comeback this week after missing last week with bruised buttocks. People laugh about that injury, but you've had it, Ross. It's a hard one.
Yeah, you tend to stand up a fair bit with that.
Francis has got it. Around the corner it comes, and the mark is held by Williams. Williams miscues. Straight onto the chest of Doyle. He's forward of the wing. Plays on by hand. This is Yates. Not a very good kick either. Floats it down towards centre half forward. Monkhorst in from the side. Thumps it away. Phoebe did nicely. That's Matthew. Intended for Stephen. Chopped off by Plain. Taken by Wright. The hand pass, an awkward one. Plain had to wait. In trouble. Tingay got him. This is Wright on the burst. Well, nothing doing there. Viney slaps it back towards the wing. In goes Matthew Phoebe. Loose ball on the outer side. That was Plain going past. Now it comes across towards Tingay, who boots it to half forward. In front was Lyon. Was he pushed in the back? Yes, he was. He'll get the free kick.
Gary Lyon, of course, another player coming back this week. A 50-metre penalty.
There's the ball not given back to him on the full, so the umpire very quick to pick that up. Craig Kelly starting centre half forward for Colin McCartney. There's a job on Lyon. The sort of test that McCartney must come up against and do well if he's become a recognised player. He has that ability.
Well, you would think this is almost a gimme goal to the Demons. From near the centre of the ground, Lyon from 35 metres. Kicks truly.
Yes, and then Tony Francis and Gary Lyon just having a couple of words, and now there's a bit of a tourney on. Some unnecessary stuff. Steins and Monkhorst, the big fellows.
Gee, they do need to assert an authority early, don't they? You wonder whether they've been revved up so much by the coaches that even if they've been 100 metres off the ball, they've got to have a bit of a dip.
So things a little testy in the early going. Doyle and Monkhorst to go at it. There's the time remaining, and Melbourne's lead. Collingwood yet to go past half forward. Monkhorst gets it down. Loose ball sliding in there. Neitz did pretty well. He's agile for a big man. Ball up.
Tony Francis starting out of the square. The bounce down with Cowell, his opposite number at the other end of the square.
The breeze hardly a factor, just wafting across the ground. Cowell, a clever hand pass. Viney boots it down towards half forward. Tapped in front. McCartney, clever mark. McCartney wants to go and does. Feeds it across to Hassel. Short pass out wide. Butcher needs to stretch. Confronted. Francis has it forward of half back. Boots it down towards the wing. Rode from behind. Timely Fist got it away. Doyle stood up in the tackle. Obst. They come forward again as the boot comes down towards half forward from Rode. Well played. It came from Lovell to Dyson. Looks for Jankovic. Wide of the mark. Valentine.
Former Footscray full forward, now a Collingwood fullback. Away to Hassel. Two Bairnsdale boys combining there. Kick by Hassel. Just over half-back flank to Monkhorst. He centres the ball. Butcher. Ryan. Stephen Ryan, the ex-Richmond player. Towards the outer half-forward flank. Russell just recovering from glandular fever. Taken by Brett Lovett. He threw the ball up, said the umpire. Free kick against Lovett. Good tackle by Scott Russell. Here's kick inside the 50. Rocker in front, but it won't reach him. It does on the bounce. The whistle's gone.
By bringing the ball back, Drew, to the centre of the ground, back to Scott Russell.
Did one umpire lose control from the other umpire then?
Well, it's difficult to tell with three of them out there who's making the decision.
Monkhorst, well, nobody on him. From the forward edge of the centre square, long kick. Rocker goes up, playing in front of the pack. Tingay's been prominent early. Gets the hand pass away to Doyle. Half-distance pass, and the mark is taken by Stephen Phoebe, who made his debut in 88. 80 games ahead of his twin brother. Up towards centre wing. Oh, big climb at the back, and the mark is taken by Schwartz.
Wants to play on. That's ambitious. Now he centres the ball. Obst has it inside the centre square. Kicks it down towards half forward. Lyon, good lead, good kick. Love it. Goes out wide. Jakovic is in front. Fingertips to it. Couldn't hang on. Steins, very adroit with the feet. Back over the shoulder. Jakovic sold into trouble. Knocked away by Ballantyne out of bounds. The key duel, that matchup. Sunny, light breezes. Currently 18 degrees, headed to that top of 20 as Wright grabs it and may have put it out of bounds on the full. Free kick for the Demons on the outer side. Tingay's got it. So Stephen kicks it down towards half forward. Steins was the target. Again cleverly. McCartney, Butcher, knocked down by Lovett. Spills out towards Brown, who fumbles, and the ball goes out of bounds. So a throw in right on the 50.
When the game started, I reckon the crowd was way below the expected 70. It may be only about 55,000. Now, whether they're caught in the traffic or whether they've been scared off by the big crowd, Collingwood dominate over the years, but in their last 8 meetings, they're 4-all. Viney, kick smothered. Francis. He'll take a high tackle and a free kick. That's your free kick, don't argue. He's gone up, blew him. Made his debut in the AFL in 1990, and his first year played in a premiership side. McCartney's kick, Monkhorst taps on. It comes to Phoebe. I'll leave you to guess, I've got no idea. The kick along the boundary line, Steins. The ball just over the boundary line. We'll have a look back, and I'll leave it to Ross Glendinning, who's the expert.
Matthew Phoebe.
Thank you.
Melbourne favourites this afternoon. Boundary throw in. Butcher dragged off it. Spills to Dyson. Hurried kick towards the pocket. Awkward bounce for Jakovic. Thumped out of bounds by Ryan. Boundary throw in right full forward.
Now, Phoebe has to win the club best and fairest at Melbourne this year. I reckon the match committee wouldn't know the difference.
Boundary throw in, hooked behind by Steins. In trouble was Viney. He desperate in there, as you can see. McCartney, was he pushed in the back? Not according to the umpire. And the ball up. Actually, it's probably a real problem for umpires voting in the Brownlow medal. A real problem. Monkhorst gets it down, taken by Hassel. He boots it out wide, and the ball runs out of bounds.
Well, they still talk about Alistair Lord's Brownlow medal. Maybe his twin brother got half his votes for him. And I would reckon in the club best and fairest at Melbourne this year, a similar problem will arise.
There was only one Ross Glendinning. Boundary throw in. Forward it comes, taken by Krasiska, who boots it towards the wing, out of bounds on the full.
Yes, well, Matthew Phoebe is actually picking up Mark Fraser.
50-metre penalty.
Yeah, not coming back on the mark as he's told by the umpire. Wayne still asking the question, and Graham Yates might make the distance from there.
Not a renowned goal scorer, Graham Yates. 45 goals in 161 games. First played in 1984, so he's been around a long, long time. Played in the reserve premiership last year. but hasn't missed a game in the seniors this year. Short pass is good. Tingay has been everywhere, Stephen Tingay, and marks inside the 50.
Going like two men.
Tony Shaw stands the mark. Short pass. Gary Lyon a better chance to make the distance.
Yes, and while this is part of their possession game, it certainly did the right thing there because it was very bottled up in that square. No movement. Lyon just pushed McCartney away, made that short lead, and he's certainly in a much better position to kick his second.
We've had one goal in the game so far after 10 and a half minutes. Gary Lyon kicked it, and now he makes it. I've given him a big build-up. 1-1.
Interchange players warming up as Valentine brings it in.
Grinter, Primke and Hilton.
Russell boots it to the outer side wing. Williams favoured by the kick. Marks in front of Cow. Bright sunny day in Melbourne. Paul Williams forward of half back. Really forward Collingwood so far. Fraser plays on immediately. Buckley hard against the boundary line. Boots it down towards full forward. Rocker is down there. Body on body with White. Almost the mark to the big man. He rakes it in off the ground. It comes to Plain. Smothered off the boot. Desperate defence. White crashes into the pack. Phoebe already there. And a whistle.
Yes, that was Matthew Phoebe with a terrific smother. Where's that guard on his right wrist? He's just holding it at the moment as he walks toward us.
There's the bounce. Rocker and Doyle. Another chance for Plain. That could be holding the ball. And is. Stephen Phoebe deep in the pocket then. Some indecision across the goal face eventually. And now a chance for them to run it out. This is Todd Viney, right half back. Boots it towards the wing. That's a pretty intelligent kick. It runs on close to the line. In fact, it runs out in front of McCartney. Had he got there in time, it would have been very difficult. So that was the best result, I guess, for both teams in the end.
Actually, the Demons did pretty well with that free kick from the back pocket. Out of bounds at centre wing. They take that every time. Umpire will ball it up. Low scoring. Melbourne 1-2. Collingwood yet to score. Monkhorst and Steins. Brown comes wide to Francis. Pies move forward to half forward. Craig Kelly making a comeback. And the ball is punched away from him by Peter Rode. Out of bounds. Kelly injured in the opening Foster's Cup game of the season for Collingwood against Richmond. Dislocated shoulder. Steins on his own in the boundary throw-in. Rode gets a good lead here from Viney. Off the left boot he goes. Over the centre of the ground. Lovett's there underneath the ball. Second grab taken by Krasiska.
Marvellous mark, that one. Gavin Krasiska at centre half back. Goes down towards centre half forward. Up goes Meats. Got hands to it. Couldn't hang on. And a whistle.
Interesting matchup too with Rode picking up Craig Kelly. It's left Meats then to pick up Buckley. Nathan Buckley, you see on the screen there, number 5.
Rucks go at it. In from the side. Brown wins it down. Viney quick hands away to Rode. This is Yates. On his own half back line. Melbourne looking very composed at the moment. Check that. The kick not good. Russell's got it. Away it comes now to right forward of the wing. He goes inside the 50. Big Rocker comes on the lead and marks this one on his chest. Well, Yates wanted too much time. And now a chance for Rocker and Collingwood to post their first.
There's a costly error there, and it's the first time Collingwood have really gone forward to some purpose, and Rocker had room to run into. The rest of the forwards well up the ground towards the 50-metre line. Gave him the space he needed.
20 goals for the season, including 7 last week against the Bombers in a losing side. Severio Rocker. Difficult angle. Kicks from 45. Not a bad effort. From behind. Just sliding across the goal face and missing to the far side.
One in the coach's box. Wouldn't they love him out there? Brown goes out with Obst. Maybe opposed on Tuesday night as well in the State of Origin game. Here's Gavin Brown. Beautifully played. too far out to score. Pops it high. Rocker in front. Off hands. Playing good roving. Dragged to the ground. Into Kelly. Welcome back, Craig Kelly. The Pies' first goal coming after 15 minutes.
Yes, and so it's going to be a low-scoring game, I think, because of the pressure applied all over the ground. Players very keen to man up. It's going to cause a contest whenever the ball is around. There's not going to be too many free-running players. This is terrific stuff from Gavin Brown, just deceiving Todd Viney there. And a clever goal after a good tackle from Yates.
So the margin just a point. Longhorst wins it down. Obst. Schwartz trying to go through. This is Buckley. They stayed off him. Buckley, as a result, gets through and kicks to half forward. Going back is Neitz in front, and he may get the free kick. No, it's going the other way. It's going to Kelly for interference behind Neitz. So Kelly, outside the 50, will go for distance. Puts it high down towards Rocker. Rocker works his way in front. Could have almost marked that one. White thumped it away, taken by Lovett, who boots it out wide. Phoebe at full stretch. That's Matthew. Takes the mark on his chest. Matthew Phoebe, right half back, chips it towards the wing. Francisca, great courage shown by Brown. Obst somehow got it forward. This is Lovell towards half forward. Lyon comes on the lead. Gary Lyon between the lines. Wing and half forward. Little chip pass in short. Obst has run on. Now Jakovic, you'd assume the next piece of the puzzle. Centering kick. In fact, Jakovic has led the other way and Doyle takes the mark. Well worked.
Yes, and this has been the strength of Melbourne for their opening games, with Doyle taking the ruck, then interchanging with Steins in the forward area. They've both been good contributors down there.
Greg Doyle, who started with the Saints, a checkered career, but making a very successful home now with the Demons. He kicks from right on the 50. Has it got the carry? Yes, it has. Melbourne have got their second goal.
And again, the importance there of Melbourne just sharing the ball and waiting for the right option to turn up, not just to blaze away to the square where it was very busy, and Doyle kicking his sixth for the season with both he and Steins contributing there. As I mentioned before, Steins has kicked 5 goals for the season. It's been a very handy contribution to complement Jakovic up forward.
Longhorst confronts Steins in the centre bounce. Monkey gets his hand to it but can't clear the circle. A ball up. Melbourne had most of the play, but they only lead 2-2 to 1-1. Longhorst again. Phoebe ducks a high tackle. Whistle's gone. He plays on with the free kick, Stephen Phoebe. His brother does the shepherding. Goes back for it. Matthew. Well played. Tingay prominent. Good hand pass to Lovell. Bounces up to the 50. Strength there by Viney. On the line. Gary Lyon, I like your chances. But he misses. 1 goal, 2 to the skipper.
Some clever hands there by Phoebe.
Need to kick those. Russell has paid the mark in any case. This is Wright. He's at right half back. Chips it into space. Hassel sold into trouble. Schwartz over the top. He's kicked back strongly this season after a downer last year. Squares the ball. Steins. Still a long way from goal. Matthew Phoebe is free now. So right across the ground they've come. Now Phoebe takes it back. Doyle is the target. Fisted away well by Ryan. Loose ball. Dyson chips it forward. Tracks it towards the boundary. Can't keep it in. And the boundary throw-in. Smiles all round. Longhorst and Doyle. Longhorst wins it down. Lovett almost had a chance there. Taken by Ryan. He tries to clear the zone. It bounces just inside the field of play. Out of bounds, out of side.
He's done well to get a game, Stephen Ryan. Turned up for pre-season training. Was taken pretty late in the March draft. Longhorst and Steins. 5.5 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Moncourse loses it. Hand pass back to Phoebe. This is Stephen. Gets his kick in just before the line. Lyon. Good punch by McCartney. Comes to the front of the pack. Francis. He rides the tackle brilliantly. Tony Francis. Back he goes. Collingwood on the run. Short of Ryan. Left footer up towards the centre wing. Oh, good pace by Buckley. Did he take the mark? No. Comes down to Neitz. Bounces over Ryan. All Melbourne now. Luck's a fortune. Lovell applies the tackle. Gary Lyon comes in to help him. Back he goes. Good play. Matthew Phoebe. Jakovic from behind. Hasn't seen it yet. Mark to Ballantyne. No mark. Play on. The hand pass to Moncourse. Open now for Collingwood. It swings one way then the other. Kelly in front. Taps to the back, but there's nobody there for Collingwood. Russell goes back to Brown. Sweeps it wide. Right. It's in the hands of the right bloke now. Graham Wright. For Rocker. Oh, disappointing kick. Mark to his opponent, White.
White, short passes. Stynes pulls Wank and takes the mark on his chest. Chips it to Obst. Very valuable player in the makeup of this Demon team. Andrew Obst. Goes short again. Stynes, the mobility of the man. Kicks down towards half forward and Dyson. Great football by the Demons. Dyson forward of the wing. Puts it high. Jakovic is in front. Doyle from behind. Mark!
That's outstanding to control the football like that. He jumped early with one hand and still had the control of the balls that came down. Terrific stuff. It looked as if it was going to carry the pack. Just got the base of his hand on that. Well done.
Yes, with intent all the way. You saw that in the replay. He was watching the ball all the way down. Terrific stuff. So Doyle proving the danger at the present time on the forward line as Jakovic is being held. Doyle, 25 metres out. Chance to get his second and stretch the lead. I think he's got it just. No, he missed. Not a confident kick as Shaw comes off the ground.
Yes, and coming on to replace him is Brett James. Another change made just before that. Butcher was off and Watson is on.
Well, James was impressive last week. Kicked 3 goals against Essendon, the Norwood recruit. Ballantyne kicks into Brown, who marks at half-back flank. 3 1/4 minutes to go to quarter time. Kick by Brown, short of centre wing for Buckley. Bit wide. They've touched it. No, it's out of bounds on the full. So a poor kick by Gavin Brown. Schwartz, centering kick. And the mark's taken here by Viney. They're going across the ground, Melbourne. Phoebe needs to be good here, and he is very good. Klein gets in there for Collingwood. Francis dispossessed. Here is Stephen Phoebe. He gets it wide. The pass to Jakovic. Great mark. And the pass coming from David Neitz. And Jakovic has taken 23 minutes to see the action.
Yes, Neitz the player that followed up with Buckley. It seems a bit of a mismatch, a taller player running with the quick running Buckley.
Alan Jakovic, spectacular player. He's kicked 23 goals. He was the fastest ever to 50. And this floats, won't make it. Off hands. Lyon hoists it high. Chance! Lovell! Did that go 10? It did.
10.1. The advantage there too, Drew, just keeping the ball in play. He could have handballed over the top, but the kick from there is the better one to give his teammate a chance to mark. He wasn't sure who was there, but did the right thing.
Now Lovell should get the goal, and does. So Melbourne starting to get on track for their dominance. They lead 3-4 to 1-1.
Yes, and Craig Kelly is now off. Brenton Sanderson going to that forward area. So the 3 interchange players for Collingwood on now, as you see Kelly going off. But the advantage there of Gary Lyon just wanting to keep that ball in play, and fortuitously or not, his teammate marks and they get a goal from it.
So the margin out to 15 points now. Less than 2 minutes till quarter time. Monkhorst and Stynes, one down by the ladder. Viney Got it away to Lovett. Lovett boots it down towards half forward. Lovell and Hassel out there. How will it bounce? Well, it favoured Lovell. He made something out of nothing, really, but the kick, not the equal of the earlier good work. He puts it out of bounds on the full. So Ballantyne with a big job this afternoon, and so far so good for him and the Magpies. He boots it around the outer side. Monkhorst. Big mark, plays on immediately. Buckley's away around the outer side. His second bounce, intent on drawing a man. This is Francis, didn't have to break stride, got an obliging bounce. He boots it down to the 50, Plain's in trouble, didn't have the ball. And the umpire says throw it in. And the interpretation on that has changed in the last couple of seasons. Plain clearly had the ball, tossed it away, was held. Recently they've been playing holding the man, that time nothing at all. Steins, Lovett in front of James, content to juggle it across. And another throw in. Lee Matthews, pensive. I think he'd realise that maybe his side is lucky to be this close. Melbourne have dominated the opening term. Handy lead, but not a great one. Steins hooks it behind. Well done. Obst had his hand pass intercepted. Russell's got the ball now. Sanderson, though, is getting the free kick.
Brenton Sanderson playing his second game for Collingwood after a brief stint with the Crows, and dropping in front is Jim Steins to take the mark. His fourth mark in the first quarter. The kick's perfect to the 50, and the mark here is taken by Viney. Back he goes to White. Sean White over half-back flank, close to the boundary line. Lovell runs it over.
Drew, Melbourne got the ball their back line far too easily. There's no pressure from those Collingwood forwards. Lee Matthews definitely wouldn't be happy with that.
Longhorst gets rid of Steins. Tingo at the back beats a man. Comes back to Jim Steins. Hoists one over the top. Buckley ducks a high tackle. Will take a free kick. The would-be tackler was Matthew Phoebe. Well, Nathan Buckley. 4 possessions coming up in the first quarter. Inside the 50. White climbs all over Rocker. At the back, Gavin Brown. Open run to goal. Did the siren beat him? Did the umpire hear it?
He's not allowing it.
Gee.
Well, we heard it. Did the umpire hear it? The umpire said, I heard it.
True.
There is no score for that. We had controversy last week with the Rocker mark in the last quarter that might have cost them the game. Will that be costly? As Gavin Brown kicks truly, but it counts for nothing. At quarter time, the Demons 3-4, Collingwood 1-1. (22-7) at quarter time. The possessions were 83-60 in favour of Melbourne, so I suppose they should have a comfortable lead. Marks were 27-16. They can't get it out of the middle here. A ball up. So Melbourne had it on the scoreboard and in the statistics, whether it was a Gavin Brown goal or not. It comes to Lovett. Did that go 10? I don't know. Williams. Francisco. His kick inside the 50. One hand there by Sanderson, close to the boundary line, taken out by Rode. And now the ball's out. We'll have a throw in.
That's the effort by Sanderson. Boundary throw in. Rocker's in front. Doyle bodies him now. From behind, James goes up. Claimed by Doyle. Comes back to James on the ground. And the bounce. About 40 metres from Collingwood's attacking goal. And they could do with one right here. Rocker thumps at Goldwood. Going back is White. Well played by White. Knocked it forward. It comes to Buckley. Has he kicked an impossible goal? No. Not a bad effort by Nathan Buckley.
Yes, there's a lot of pressure on that play now with Craig Kelly going off and Buckley the target now in that half-forward line. But so far, Neitz has had him in check.
Stephen Phoebe to bring it in. Congregation at centre-half back. Now they move, aided by a pick. Lovett gets free. This is Obst. Obst still in the back pocket, goes in short, and the mark is held by Rode right on the defensive 50. Peter Rode, former Carlton player. stalwart at Melbourne as he drives it towards the wing. Big pack, Monkhorst almost the mark. Knocked forward, taken by Brown, close to the boundary line, spills out of bounds, throw-in.
Gavin Brown, 4 possessions. Doyle and Monkhorst having a wrestle. Doyle wins it, the shorter man. Comes to James, hurried kick, inside the 50, going close to out of bounds. Blaine, he keeps it in, well done to Russell. Fantastic, Russell the hand pass up. A little bit disappointing there, behind Sanderson it went. Russell still a chance, back he goes to Blaine. Tackled high, no whistle.
Geez, not getting any favours. It's the second time that Bradley Blaine should have got a free kick for being held or pushed. Just not coming his way, but that was a poor handball from Scott Russell to Sanderson.
Terrific by Blaine. He was out, the ball was well in. Here's a Melbourne free kick, so they don't even them up here. The hand pass across from Stephen Phoebe to White. Up short of centre wing. Good mark, Randy Lovell. Wheels round onto the left. Phoebe. He's lost it, Stephen. It's taken by Fraser the speedster. 55 metres out. Rocker. Shepherded through and it's a goal. Goal to Mark Fraser.
Isn't Sean White a little bit stiff there? Perhaps worried a little bit too much about where Rocker was to try and body Rocker out of the contest rather than perhaps just jumping for it. But here, Stephen Phoebe just getting caught by Hassel. And then Mark Fraser, good skills. The first time he's really been able to break free. And here's this little Shepherd. And unfortunately, the ball carrying both those two players.
So the margin 8 points. Melbourne in front. Monkhorst goes up. Signs of a rally, though, from the Magpies. Some desperation in there. And what's the decision? A Melbourne free kick. It's going to Viney. He was working hard in that pack, surrounded by opponents. He comes out with it. So Viney, his 11th possession, goes wide. This is Lyon on his chest. Harry Lyon, who started pretty well. Short one is on. Obst, always presenting. He's about 75 metres from goal. Obst, short. Cow this time.
And again, they're prepared then to set it up.
Intended for Viney. Brown took the mark. Francis comes away, so a chance for Collingwood on the rebound, but the kick coming out's not good. This is Stephen Tingay rather, on the wing. The hand pass comes forward. It's taken by Doyle. Doyle kicks inside the 50. Schwartz punches away, taken by Watson, and Watson's kick not particularly effective. It bounces out of bounds, but still they get a chance to regroup.
Well, this crowd may have built up a little bit since the start of the game, but nothing like the 70,000. I think a lot have been turned away by the threat of a big crowd. Monkhorst taps down. Hurried kick out of the pack, and the mark by Phoebe. No mark. It comes to Russell. Back to Brown. Gavin Brown looking for his chances up the ground. Picks off Buckley. A little bit wide. Needs good ball handling, but runs the ball out of bounds on centre wing.
It's the second time too. He's really had to stretch for a mark, and he's been a bit stiff. The kick just hasn't been toward him a little more to give him the chance to take it completely.
Nathan Buckley there shaking his head. Doyle wins in ruck, comes down to Russell. Courage by Brown. Tingay pops one round the head. The umpire said, "I'll give you a ball up for that."
He's working hard. Stephen Tingay. So here's a bounce on the wing. Monkhorst holding there with Doyle. And it will be a free kick going Monkhorst way. Locking arms. I may have had one of the Phoebes, Stephen. There's a Tingay just moments ago. As Monkhorst boots towards half forward. Taken by Sanderson. Gets it across to Williams about 60 metres from goal. Here's Buckley. Deep in the pocket. Kicks and misses. Bounds on the full, says the goal umpire. Sean White will get the ball. So So just for the moment, the Magpies doing a fair bit of the attacking. Short one comes in. Schwartz has got it. Deep in his own defensive area. 3-4 to 2-2. Game just bogged down for the moment. Schwartz, long kick, back towards the wing. Monkhorst reaches over the top, knocks it down, taken by Wright. Hard against the boundary line to Brown. Brown is grabbed by Obst. The ball is jarred free. And another throw in.
Couple of good tackles there, one by Viney, then Obst. Good pressure.
Well, the game is bogged down at the moment. That's one of Collingwood's strengths, because they are below strength and they can drag the opposition back. And last week's game at the MCG was won by a kick right at the end. This might go all the way to the wire. And Collingwood doing well, considering they're losing. They're without McGuan, Pert, Rowe, Christian, and the likes of players of that calibre. Monkhorst down to right. Tingay close to the boundary line. Sandwiched. Another free kick might have been on, but a boundary throw-in he gets this time.
No, heavy shot on the chest there. Didn't take him high, I don't think, if we see this again. Well, the shoulder into his chin.
Tingay probably feels hardly done by, but he's had about 7 possessions. Doyle comes back to Tingay. Beautiful hand pass away to Phoebe. He gets it to Love. I'll give you the Phoebe. That was Stephen. Stephen doing the old 1-2. A long kick to centre half forward. Hands to it, Ryan. At the back, McCartney. Hassel goes across the ground to Watson. Kick by Watson is well pinpointed. Krasiska.
Whoa, a bit happening off the ball too. Williams and Schwartz.
Yes, he's going to come back and reverse it. Bit of frustration from the Magpies.
They trail by 8 points. David Schwartz has the ball down towards left half forward. Kicks inside the 50. Steins up in front, took one high. Is a free kick being paid? Yes, it will be. Jankovic has headed goalward, but the ball will come back to Jim Steins, who'll kick from right on the 50, and that wasn't too subtle.
Now, I'll be interested to see too whether they try and chip this short to get another player closer to goal.
So Steins certainly thinking about chipping it short. Now decides to go for distance. Kicks from right on the 50. It's bending back nicely. It's a goal. His first. Melbourne's fourth. They lead 4-4 to 2-2.
Well, I'm glad I didn't open my mouth, because I was going to say I didn't think he'd get the distance from there, but certainly that breeze just drifting that ball back a little bit, and a terrific goal there from Jimmy Steins in a low-scoring game. Very vital.
The Demons double the Pies score. 4-4 to 2-2. Doyle in ruck. Gets a two-fister down. And not too many of the ruckmen have cleared the ball out of the centre with a palm down to a running player going past. I don't think it's happened once.
Brenton Sanderson coming off too, Drew, with Craig Kelly to come back onto that centre half forward area. No, he's going back.
Kick by Stephen Phoebe. Krasiska bounces back away from goal. Free kick here, and listen to the crowd. Collingwood always feel as though they're hardly done by with threes. Krasiska comes over the top to Watson. Watson like lightning. Out he goes to Hassel. He goes for a sprint, John Hassel. To half forward and Buckley. He approaches the ball and takes a good mark, Nathan Buckley, in front of his face. Too far out. Rocker, too wide. Poor kick by Buckley. And the ball out of play.
He just fell victim, Buckley, there for the way the ball's been kicked to him on a couple of occasions. That wasn't very good.
Yes, you need to Peter Dacos to kick a goal from where Rocker had a chance of getting it near the boundary line. As it's turned out, it's a boundary throw-in. Rocker wrestling, tips it to the back. Gee, they're creating some packs and some ball-ups. And Collingwood have been pretty good at damage control this year. Of their 4 games, 3 of them have been decided by under 2 kicks.
Here's the bounce then. Back goes Doyle. Was beaten for it. This is White. Good evasion. White boots it towards the outer side wing. Krosiska goes back, and that's a very clever mark, body to body. Gavin Krosiska just forward of the wing. Collingwood send it back in. The short one to Russell. The man on the mark, Schwartz, runs back about 15 metres, picks up another mark. Outstanding the mark, as distinct from taking one. This is Russell. Long probing kick this time inside the 50. Meets in from the side, missed it. Phoebe got it away to Yates, smothered by Francis, comes to White. Opportunity for Obbs, close to the boundary line. Brown tried to go back in. That was pretty ambitious. Phoebe's got it. That's Stephen. Away to Rowe. Rowe at right half back. Goes short towards the wing. Set a task out there with Schwartz. He can't keep it in, but got down quickly. Got a hand to the ball, and that was good enough for Melbourne. They'll regroup on the outer side. Throw in midway between right half back and right centre wing for the Demons, who lead it by 14 points.
Well, it's a second quarter which has gone nowhere. A goal each. Steins gets it down to Viney. Back he goes to Dyson. High ball to half forward. Lyon at the back. Nudges out Ryan, but illegally, says the umpire. Free kick Stephen Ryan. Goes the short pass. Russell goes for a bit of distance to half forward. Outnumbered Buckley. Steins pops it over the top. Melbourne have all the numbers. Love it to Viney. Todd Viney, an outstanding game. 12 possessions. The ball close to the boundary line and out of bounds. Viney now 13 possessions. And it's a throw in at half forward.
Craig Kelly's gone back to pick up the resting ruckman. He's now got Doyle with Steins on the ball.
Monkhorst and Lyon. Schwartz is there as well. So Melbourne improvising. Monkhorst goes up. It comes back to him. He chips it towards the wing. This is Phoebe. Stephen plays on immediately. Kicks it towards centre half forward. That's ill-directed. Monkhorst uncontested. Lays it off to Hassel. Hassel comes away. That exaggerated bouncing action he's got. He comes up towards centre half back. Gets it across to Kelly. Kelly forward of half back. Kicks to half forward. Plain. Well, he did a lot of pushing initially. Opposed to Yates and took a clever mark. Kicks inside the 50. Rocker comes on the lead. Through his hands. White's got great closing speed. Steins. Tingay. Back to Steins. Cal is on. Cal has it at left half back. Kicks towards the wing. Schwartz is in front. No, it's Meats there. Knocked away. Well recovered too by Buckley. Kicks inside the 50. White takes the mark. He plays on. Leisurely. Comes up towards half back. Gives it to Rode. Rode towards the wing. Lovell's in front. Takes the mark. Plays on quickly. This is Viney.
Todd Viney going for another run. Taking it very wide, close to the boundary line. Not the way to go at Waverly. Poor kick as well. Jakovic, 70 metres from goal. Now they're 85, back to Viney. Up to Lyon, a little give. Dyson, a left footer, a high ball, but Jakovic isn't back there. Schwartz, no mark. Doyle's hand pass is blocked. Schwartz to Neitz. He gets it going forward. Brown with courage and will take a free kick. Just as well for Gavin Brown there. Away to Francis. They walk it out of defence. Ballantyne near the centre of the ground. Overrun there by McCartney. He's got it again, Jason McCartney. The hand pass, all right. Trouble for James. They've lost it. Steins to Phoebe. This is Stephen Phoebe. Wide, but he's given it straight to Monkhorst.
He plays on by hand. Gavin Brown has it. Lovell got there quickly. Here's Hassel again. Takes it up to the shoulder and lets it go. Hassel around the outer side. Now Stein stays off him. Hassel has got a few problems. He gets around Steins though. Well done. Hassel down towards half forward. Kicks towards the 50. White from behind Rocker knocks it forward. Plain, surely a free kick. Well, he's going to get one. He's tried all afternoon to win a free kick. This is his first. He's about 60 metres from goal, perhaps a little further. Sends it down towards the kick-off line. Rocker and White in from the side. Stephen Phoebe paddles it towards the boundary line. Didn't have the ball. He's getting the free kick.
Melbourne have done that very well too today. They've come back to assist Sean White, whether it be Steins or Doyle, and then this occasion Stephen Phoebe has been very effective to have that player chipping across in front.
His 15th possession upcoming. Goes for distance around the outer side. Not a particularly long kick. Brown the flyer. Fisted it down. Viney got it to Obst. Out wide to Yates. He's at right half back. He kicks towards the wing. Too high for Lyon. Runs free behind. Arriving best there is Hassel. Well picked up. Got it to Monkhorst. Across it comes to James. James on the wing. Boots inside the 50. Loose ball behind the plane. Here's an opportunity. 25 metres out. He's kicked a goal. Magpies needed that one. They're 3-2. Melbourne at 4-4.
Yes, and Bradley Plain taking full advantage of when Graham Yates, his marksman, was well down the ground. But Collingwood getting some system going. They've kept themselves in the game even though they've not been the dominant team. They're playing a gimme goal for a player of his quality in that area.
Well, the Pies needed that goal, but so did the game. In this quarter, Collingwood 2-1, Melbourne 1 straight goal. Buckley belts the ball out of the middle. It goes past McCartney. It runs McCartney's way. He pats for himself. He's got it. 52 metres out. Long kick wide. Bouncing out of bounds.
Yes, McCartney's come forward too, Drew, with Ryan picking up Lyon. Tony Shaw is back on and Brent James is off.
8 points the margin. Melbourne have dominated everywhere but the scoreboard. Collingwood in attack, another chance. Rocker! Well done, Sav Rocker. The hand pass is good. Russell tries to tap back to a teammate. It hits a Melbourne leg. Steins goes back with his hand pass. Neats clears to half-back flank. Matthew Phoebe there. Fraser. Phoebe keeps his footing. Well done by Matthew Phoebe. Up the centre wing. Overrun by Krasiska. Francis rather. Great kick. Gavin Brown. Beats Tingay. Into Krasiska. The half-back flanker. 65 metres out to the goal square. All Melbourne. Yates. They're under the pump, the undefeated Demons. Graham Yates walks the ball out of defence to Steins. What an athlete, the former Irishman. Great pass. Lyon. The run game by Melbourne in evidence here. Road on the bounce. Obst to Viney. Goes wide to Road, who kept going. Buckley takes it away from him. Great tackle by Road. Was that worth a free? Nothing doing. It comes to Russell. His kick smothered by Obst. Russell applies the tackle. Unbelievable. Stephen Phoebe, short pass.
Hang on, Drew, there's free kick coming back. Yes, it's against Obst on Russell. After the ball being cleared.
Free kicks 12-8 in favour of Collingwood. Scott Russell too far out to score. Long kick. Rocker the only chance. Off hands. Plain. Just missed. Well, against all odds, Collingwood still boxing on and right in it, trailing by 7 points.
Primke waiting to come on. Yates about to bring it in. Collingwood looking better in the last 10 minutes or so.
Alan Jakovic coming off too. He's limping.
Oh. This could be pivotal. Jakovic limps off the ground. He's been well held, but of course can be a match breaker. Steins goes up, takes the mark. So Primke.
Ross, if you've got to run 100 metres to be interchanged, you'd bung on a limp, wouldn't you, if you've had 2 possessions?
Maybe. Phoebe towards half forward.
Not in front of this crowd.
This is Lyon. Now Primke's gone to defence. Road is being pushed forward. Lyon's got the ball meantime. Towards half forward with the kick. Tingay, fingertips to it. Close to the boundary line. Kelly's over the ball. They've got him. Almost hog-tied. And a whistle. The ball stayed in, so a bounce just outside the attacking 50 for the Demons, who lead 4-4 to 3-3. The breeze freshened a little bit. It's blowing across the ground though. Kelly almost clean possession. Viney had it and then lost it. So boundary throw-in. Gavin Brown. And news on Jakovic. He has headed up the race for treatment. So he hasn't been taken from the ground as such. Something is wrong. Watson collides with Tingay, and the ball again goes out of bounds. A real battle of defences, this one.
There have been players who have been benched, gone up the race and got in their civvies and got in their car.
Monkhorst away to Brown. Down he went. And the umpire will ball it up. We're not suggesting that for one moment, of course. Jacko, a flamboyant character, but I'm sure he intends to come back if he can. Viney across the goal face. This is Ballantyne on the burst now. An opportunity for Collingwood to set something up. Francis, he's forward at half back. He slipped over. Now he's got a problem. Oh, well played. Francis with genuine speed. Can't control that football, though. And as a result, they eventually got him, and he's been knocked off for holding the ball. Well, that's a bit tough. Lovell will get the free kick.
Paid the penalty for tripping.
Yeah. Short one is on. This is Rowe. As I said, now on the forward line. He's about 75 metres from goal. Squares the ball. Meets has it. About 60 metres from goal. Another short one is on. He ignores that. Viney calling for the ball. There's Viney. Lyon, though, the target. Almost the juggled mark. Ryan tries to slap it towards the boundary line. Thought he was pushed in the back. No free kick and another bounce. So the umpires are working overtime at the present time.
They don't seem to pay that, Dennis. Look at that push there in the back. I could have sworn he was straight in the back there by Viney.
Close to the boundary line and out. Todd Viney, 18 possessions, and we have nearly 3 minutes to half time. Nobody's going to win this game by 50 points. It's too tight in there in close quarters. Shaw fires the hand pass to Brown. Gavin Brown floats the ball. I'm glad it's you, Graham Wright, not me. And the ball taken over the boundary line. Well, neither of these sides know where the next goal's coming from.
Boundary throw in. Monkhorst in front. Lovett reaches over the top. This is Krasiska. Gets it away to Watson. Watson sends a high kick towards centre half forward. Yates spilt the mark. Primke on his knees. Yates was pushed in the back. Nothing doing. McCartney battles after it. Yates again was pushed in the back. Primke got it to Steins. Stephen Phoebe across to Tingay. Tingay past centre. Kicks towards half forward. Lyon. Oh, terrific mark. How did he get that one? Totally out of position. Somehow it finished on his chest.
Just got himself there beautifully. Got an elbow on the inside of Ryan.
He kicks from 65. Floats it down towards the square. Schwartz.
With Djakovic off the ground there, restructures seen Lyon and Schwartz interchange in that full forward area and across half forward. And they become pivotal. If they haven't been at the start of the game, that's a terrific mark and what we've come to expect of this young fellow.
So directly in front, this to stretch the lead. He pops it through. Goals have been scarce. That's his first and the fifth on the board for Melbourne. They lead 5-4 to 3-3.
And again, Collingwood breaking down across half forward. The ball was cleared out of there again with Steins, Tingay, Phoebe all working well. Yates, Primke hit that ball through the centre and set up for a goal. It's been their strength. Numbers around the footy.
Margin of 13 points in favour of the Demons. A minute and a quarter to half time. Comes to Lovett. Fires out a hand pass to Dyson. He's on the run. Bang to full forward. Lyon is there. Ooh, Kelly came from nowhere. Centering kick to Steins. Jim Steins inside the 50. Can't hook it back far enough. Lyon again. And Ballantyne's down hurt. Doesn't look good for John Ballantyne. Lyon goes on with it. Into the goal square. And it's a mark and goal. Kicked by Doyle. So the last 2 minutes of this first half. Crucial to Melbourne.
Yes, and the two big fellows, as you see Ballantyne there and screen, not looking too good. Steins, Doyle and Lyon combining very, very nicely. And Dyson, the advantage there of getting a long kick out of the centre. That's Dyson's value. He kicks very well. Depth, and that knee of Ballantyne, not too good.
Well, that's a strange one, isn't it? I mean, the left knee didn't seem to be involved hardly at all.
Just shows how easy it can happen. Sanderson, the player to come on to replace him. So you don't wish that upon anyone, Dennis, you know.
No. Well, hope he's okay. Doesn't look good. A guy who really deserves a break. He's crossed from Footscray to Collingwood, and he's chiselled out a niche for himself in defence. Play restarts. Melbourne have done best in the last 5 minutes. Moncourse goes up, wins it down, gets it back from Shaw, kicks down towards centre half forward. In front, Yates knocked it to his own advantage, follows up on the ground, chips it out wide. Collingwood desperately need a goal before half-time as Viney runs it across the boundary line. It's a low-scoring slog, this one. And obviously this sort of lead, 19 points at the moment, is very handy in the context of the game. Steins, McCartney tries to hook it behind. Brown, who's tried very hard, hand passes towards centre half forward, meets with Dash, comes through, kicks down towards his half forward line. Sanderson knocks it out to the voice supplied by Watson, picked up by Moncourse. He's been practicing that blind turn, goes back after the ball. It was held without it, he'll get the free kick. Well played, big fella. Dying seconds of the first half. Damien Moncourse has the ball at half-back. Siren sounds. Well, far from spectacular, the opening half. It was tough, certainly. Both sides looking for an advantage, a chance to grab the initiative. Melbourne have done that. They lead by 19 points at the half. It's 6-4 to 3-3.
Craig Kelly now picking up Gary Lyon.
On course to the right.
Yep.
So we get underway. A 19-point lead to the Demons, and they have the breeze in this third quarter and a chance to really stretch that break. But Nathan Buckley breaks from centre wing up towards half forward, mostly Melbourne. Phoebe goes back, round the corner, Yates. Matthew Phoebe comes back to Cowell, who's been quiet. Kicked by Cowell up short of half forward, very wide. And in between wing and half forward, the ball out. Graham Wright, 9 possessions in the first half. It's been a real scrap. Perfect conditions, bit of a breeze. Maybe slightly going Melbourne's way, left to right in this quarter. But a low goal count between the two. Rocker to Buckley. And Sav Rocker on the ball now with Moncourse up in the forward line. The two number 2s take each other out of it. Phoebe combines with Viney. Back it comes to Stephen Phoebe. The kick up towards centre half forward. All Collingwood ground level. Hassel has it. The whistle's gone. There's going to be a Collingwood free kick to Gavin Crasisco.
This is Buckley. Puts it towards the wing. Awkward kick. Brown close to the boundary line. Matthew Phoebe did brilliantly. Brown hard back on him. Holding the ball is the call. And a pretty good call too. Phoebe, not much of an attempt to knock it out. So Brown's got the ball on the wing. He's been hard at the ball all afternoon long. Not a lot of possessions. Solid without being spectacular, but hard work. He really has led the way for his side. Doyle. Interesting player, this fellow. As I mentioned at the break, releases Steins to do other things. Really does improve this Melbourne team. McCartney to James, who slipped over. That was bad luck. On top of him, Viney somehow got it to Road. Down he went, trying to crash his way through as Phoebe. It came to James, flick hand pass away. Russell, like a basketballer, controlled it. Gives it to Brown, he's forward of the wing. He kicks inside the 50. Watson's on the forward line. Up he goes, White fisted away. Roving the pack is plain. Oh, great tackle by White. Away comes Yates, squares the ball, great composure. Love it. To Neitz from centre half back, kicks through the middle. Road is there. Good mark, Crasisco. He's taken a few very strong defensive marks this afternoon.
4 marks in total. 11 disposals. Away to Savrocker. We're being starved of opportunities at full forward. He's kicked wide to the 50. Very wide. Oh, Watson. Some sort of a hand pass. White with him. It's been a game of mistakes. Hasn't been pretty. And the estimate of the crowd to half-time was under 50,000. People were talking it up to be 70, and it was about 45.
If that's the case, it's disappointing. There's the bounce on the outer side. Doyle away quickly. Tingay picks it up hard against the boundary. Dyson trying to flip it up the top. Well played by Buckley. Couldn't keep it in, but he'd done his job. I think Dipper's got some news on John Ballantyne.
Yes, I guess that confirmation, unfortunately for the young defender, has a ruptured cruciate ligament.
So tragedy strikes the Magpies. He was fitting in so well. Dyson goes down. This is plain. He's had a tough afternoon. Kicks it out of the congestion. Yates, all the time in the world. Boots towards midfield. Schwartz in front. Knocked away. Came forward. Tingay couldn't control it. Cowell slides in. At the base of all of that is Schwartz, and there's going to be a bounce. So a ball up. The attacking side of centre, marginally, for the Magpies.
Huge pack around this ball up. Clean possession, Doyle. Another ball up. Greg Doyle, formerly of St Kilda, moved to Dandenong in the VFA, and back with Melbourne. Given ruck responsibilities this year. Take a free kick, Schwartz. David Schwartz, 8 goals for the season. He's kicked short of half forward. Here's Peter Rode. Defence into attack. And Peter Rode playing his 100th game for Melbourne after previously playing 46 with Carlton. He's kicked to half forward. Lyon, terrific kick. Great lead by Gary Lyon.
Yes, he's got Steins one out in the square and get it up there quickly.
Steins with Kelly. It's hard to kick a ball over 45 or 50 metres, that pinpoint. And it was delivered that time to Lyon. Viney back to Lyon. The hand pass not so good. Now he's in trouble. He's lost it. Umpire looking into the sun. The crowd yelling ball. And I thought he was lucky to get away with a ball up.
Yes, and Todd Viney just hanging his head there a little bit, knowing that his handball back to Lyon not good enough.
So a bounce just inside the 50. One down by the big man there, Schwartz. He goes after it again, but it's flipped out wider as Collingwood try to clear the zone. Slung there was Brown. And the ball goes across the boundary line. And that sort of afternoon. Not much flowing for Collingwood. Just under 15 minutes till three-quarter time. 6-4 plays 3-3. Leaper from behind was Doyle. Got it down to Viney. Hilton gets it across to support. This is Lovett. Little kick towards centre half forward. Well, Stephen Tingay, or rather Stephen Phoebe, was storming towards goal. Had an opportunity. Brown coming the other way did well. This is Buckley running through the middle. A second bounce and a third. Buckley away towards centre half forward. Look at him go. Buckley down to the 50. Can he finish it off with a goal? It's deserving of one. That's a shocker.
Never seen two, Dennis. When he took off through the middle there, he kept running wide. He could have straightened directly toward goal and just made it more difficult for himself. Then had to straighten himself through.
Nathan Buckley goalless today. He's kicked one behind and 2 out of bounds on the full. Chance here for Brent James. Yates. Gee, he's been an excellent player.
Yeah, he's been very steady down there.
It's his first mark, but he's had 10 disposals. Thought his career might have been over last year when he played nearly all the season in the reserves. Here's Viney. Tingay into Obst. And the midfield runners aren't running for Melbourne. Tingay, a centering kick in the centre square. Francis bowled over by Lovell. And the umpire balled it up. Umpires have been prominent today. They've had plenty of possessions. 6-4 to 3-3, which means we've been playing 7.5 minutes in this third quarter for nothing. There's been no score.
Pretty hectic again, and another whistle. Was it a free kick? They plucked the free kick out of that. It's going to Francis.
It is for holding on.
Francis, little chip pass intended for McCartney, well wide of the mark. Stephen Phoebe did nicely. This is Lovell on the wing. Melbourne can make something of this. He boots it down towards half forward, slipping initially. Lovett took the mark. Back it comes to Steve Phoebe. Had it knocked away. Against the flow is Rocket. Viney picked his pocket. The hand pass is shocker. Forgettable football at the moment. Fraser gets it across to Brown. Brown swings it out wide. Some heavy shepherding work done behind play. Lovell is down. Meantime, Russell's got it. Kicks inside the 50. Great kick. And a very good mark by Watson.
Yes, that was James just affecting the shepherd on Lovell. Lovell didn't see it. It was perfectly fair. Lovell didn't see it coming.
Can this spark Collingwood? Here's Watson. He kicks from just outside the 50. Starts right, stays right. Doesn't have the carry in any case. And Doyle goes up and takes the mark in the square.
Francis is off for Collingwood. Butcher to come on.
Doyle goes towards the outer side. Man loose out there. This is Meats. Takes it and runs. He kicks long towards half forward. Schwartz is the target. Leads back in the race. That was Hilton like a whirling dervish. Opportunity for Wright across his own half back line. Twisting and turning. McCartney has it now in space with some time. Shocking kick though. Williams, who's been pretty quiet, gets it to Buckley. Buckley forward of the wing, kicks down towards half forward. Dyson, the leaper, missed the ball. All Melbourne behind, too many of them. They almost ruin their chances. White under pressure as a result. Kicks it out wide, headed for the boundary. It runs on, hasn't crossed the line yet. Watson pushes it towards the boundary and gets what he was after.
Well, there have been some scoreless quarters in AFL/VFL, but I doubt whether ever on a sunny day. We might be heading for one here. Off the ground, Sanderson. Tingay, kicked out of his arms by Brown. Kicked by Brown, diving mark by Yates. Superb in the last line.
Yes, the Melbourne backs have been prepared to play in front, and that's why they're getting first touch of the footy.
Kicked by Yates to centre half back. Doyle waits for the bouncing ball, floats a handball. Dyson up to centre half forward. Kelly gets back, juggles a one-hander. Craig Kelly's first mark. He was benched for a while in the first half. Hassel up towards centre wing. Oh, Williams! If that had been a plump pudding, he'd been picking razors off his face till Christmas. Kicked by Williams up towards centre half forward. Melbourne players spoil each other. A comedy of errors, but who's laughing? Out of defence. Wide of half-back flank. Brown gives chase. And this ball out of bounds. That's counted up. We're nearly 11 minutes in for no score.
Primke back on the ground. Jeff Hilton off. Primke going down back.
Doyle collected by his own man. Tony Francis waiting to come back on. Plenty happening in terms of people going down, but no scoring. Brown, that's a lazy kick. It's all Melbourne at the fall of the ball. Meets, claims it, plays on immediately. Phoebe, that's Steve over the top. Viney, charged down, well played. Suddenly, Williams seems to have lifted. Williams dragged off it, goes again, right on the 50. Paul Williams, can he lift them? No. Primke gets back, takes the mark. Changes play to the outer side, Tingay. Wide open in front of him. Tingay around the outer side. Checks, comes inside now. Obbs thought about going back to Tingay, used him as a decoy, gets it across to Lovett. Lovett alongside the centre circle. Still no score in this term, remarkably, and we're past halfway. Kick comes out very wide. Schwartz slipped over. Steins tries to slap it forward. Still Steins on his knees. Gets it across to Dyson. Upended as he kicked. It goes down towards full forward. It runs on, the first score of the term, with less than 9.5 minutes remaining till three-quarter time. Dyson, 6-5-3-3.
Well, thank God for that. You wouldn't want to consign this quarter to history.
What's amazing when mistakes are made, Drew, by any side, it just seems to run through the rest of the team and in fact can then roll over to the other side as well. You've got a very scrappy game on your hands.
Encouraged, big climb, unfortunately couldn't take the mark. Matthew Phoebe paddles back, Obbs just took it out of bounds and we'll have a throw in. There's John Ballantyne on the bench. Alan McAllister, Collingwood president, who had plenty to say at the lunch before the game as well. Whistle's gone just as Collingwood had it. Now advantage. McCartney takes the hand pass from James. Rocker approaches 50. Run down by Yates. Kicked by Rocker to full forward. He's looking for Sav Rocker, but he's not there. Off the ground by White. And Watson crashes over him, and the ball goes out of play. One of the interesting things about Alan McAllister's speech at the President's lunch before the game was he said the AFL's trying to make the competition so even, he reckons come grand final day, they might be tossing a coin saying it's your premiership.
There's Russell. Hooks it back, it's out of bounds on the full. Well, I think he's headed towards losing the toss, at least in this game.
Or the plot.
Looks like Melbourne's 4 points this afternoon, the way things are going. But really, a war of attrition here. Collingwood made the second best half-time comeback this season. They defeated Fitzroy in round one after trailing by, ironically, 19 points at half-time. That was the margin today. It's now out to 20. So they've made absolutely no inroads at all. And a forgettable turn. Down went Brown. Sanderson did well. Advantage is played. Here's Williams. 40 metres out goes Collingwood. And he's missed. Suddenly Williams is getting possessions. They need him firing. He can kick goals, the sort of goals that could lift his side here. And this game is just crying out for one of the teams to take it by the scruff of the neck and go on and win. Melbourne have got a good start, but certainly not over the line. Stephen Phoebe kicks in, straight down the middle. Steins from behind Brown, tried to knock it forward, didn't succeed. Dyson slides in, could have almost been holding the ball. Viney, Soltneit's into trouble. Yates tries to work it through the congestion. Butcher's got it, confronted by Dyson. Scrambles a kick across to Monkhorst. Monkhorst on the outer side's got a free man. Williams about 60 metres from goal, chips it in short. Sanderson stretches, takes the mark, goes over the top. Watson has to wait. Oh no! Dear, oh dear. White got him, and a behind is forced.
Well, I think that just typifies the quarter. The idea was right by Sanderson, but it was a bit of a floater of a handball. But great persistence there by Sean White to get back and tackle. Watson was looking for a free kick, not on.
Well, surely there was a goal coming up there, but nothing doing. Primke into Obst, onto Tingay. He beats a man, Buckley, with a bit of pace. Kicked by Tingay, short of the 50. Ryan, number 41. Lyon. Dyson, short pass. And Schwartz was just about to grab it when McCartney whipped in front of him. Kicked by McCartney. Francis, he was benched. He probably had a telephone conversation with Lee Matthews. Back after a minute and a half. On the bounce to Monkhorst. Difficult for the big fella. He's lost it. Love it. Out wide he comes to Yates, roaming far and wide. Straight to Francis. Well, so far in this quarter, 2 behinds to Collingwood, 1 behind to Melbourne. Centre wing. Steins and Brown take the ball out. Well, we can only hope that there's a problem with the tape and we won't have to waste space in the library by storing this one.
Boundary throw in. Steins knocks it forward. Brown could have been taken high. Nothing doing. Matthew Phoebe put his body in strongly on Fraser, and a whistle. Just looking back over some of the least productive quarters this season. Hawthorn scored 3 points against North Melbourne back in round 3 in the 3rd term. Fitzroy 3 points in a term. Brisbane 1 point. Brisbane 2 points in the same game, if you don't mind. This is Lovett, but Adelaide have taken the prize. That's what you call it, as the kick comes down towards half court. This is Hassel. Adelaide didn't score in the 2nd term against Footscray last Sunday. This is Russell. Hassel, awkward bounce. Opportunity for Butcher. Could have been pushed in the back. Hassel against the flow. Williams again inside the 50. Surely. Please. Goal. Paul Williams. Collingwood's 4, 4-5, 6-5.
It's some classical work there by John Hassel, who's receiving the plaudits of his teammates. From half-back, he picked the ball up beautifully. Almost came unstuck, but he charged back through and then collected that one hand, set up Williams, who, as Dennis said, gave us the joy of the first goal for the quarter. Well done, John Hassel.
Well, can a goal by Paul Williams add life to this game here at Waverly? Certainly it's close enough. 12 points the margin. Viney to Tingay. Tingay, a hurried hand pass away. Schwartz, Neats it was. Swamped. Comes out to Monkhorst. Sanderson to Buckley. They're on the move now, the Pies. Kicked by Buckley. Top mark by Watson.
Their persistence may pay off, Drew. I mean, it's been a very untidy quarter, but 4 or 5 minutes of footy could see them take control.
And a straight kick here would put them within a straight kick. 50 metres out. A beautiful kick. First score for Watson. 6-5 to 5-5.
Well, they struggled for a half to kick 3 goals. In the space of 5 minutes, they kicked 2. And very simply because they're getting more run out of their midfield. And Shane Watson as a target up forward. A very handy goal from that play, but Francis back on the ground. Buckley, Williams, their quicker running players have just lifted their effort.
Well, so often after a deadlock, suddenly one goal leads to several more. Time is running out in the term. This is McCartney. Tight game, certainly. White's got it now. Chips it out wide. In front was Russell. Falls behind. Who's got the recovery? Stephen Phoebe does brilliantly. Francis ran him down, though. Ball jarred loose. Lovett confronted by Francis. Down he goes, holding the ball, says the umpire. Well, how do you get it out in that situation? I don't know. Francis has it forward of the wing. Collingwood. A real rally now. Francis put down after he kicked the ball. Fair enough, says the umpire. Juggled attempt at the mark by Obbs to Viney. Viney swings it around the outer side. Lovett drops the mark. Here comes Francis again. Lovett. Nonchalant hand pass to Rode, who chips it across the ground. Tingay has it now. Runs through the wing. Kicks inside the 50. Jakovic is off the ground. The target was Doyle. Doyle comes again. He's won it on the ground. Kelly puts him down. And the ball's gone out of bounds in the pocket. There's the strong man. Good to see him back. Doyle feeling the effects, but ready to go again. They link up again. Monkhorst over the top. Clean possession. Lost it. It comes back to Doyle. Lovell couldn't control it. Diving in there, Ryan. Picked up by Rode. Rode lays it off. Tingay across his body, and the mark is held in the pocket. Schwartz has got it. About 25 metres out. Goalless for so long. Williams got one. Then we saw another one shortly afterwards by Watson. And Melbourne needing a reply. Can David Schwartz provide it? Going at his second. The margin currently 6 points. It's out to 12.
Yes, and Melbourne with the presence of mind just as steady, given that Collingwood kicked the first 2 goals of this quarter. They've just chipped the ball around their forward line once again to get the right option. Just a bit of a fumble there by Ryan, allowed Rode to get through, and then Tingay allowed Neese to kick a very good goal. A Schwartz, I should say.
Margin back to 12 points. 3.25 minutes to 3/4 time. Viney gets the ball out of the middle. Well, Collingwood kicked a couple in 2 minutes after a drought. Maybe Melbourne can. Lyon comes in. Dyson, too long. Over the head of his full forward, and the mark taken by Kelly. Kelly goes out wide to Ryan. Kick by Ryan up towards centre wing, and Buckley takes the mark. 15 disposals, Nathan Buckley. Francis. 47 to 35, Melbourne in front. Kicked by Francis. Monkhorst on the logo at centre wing. He's got Sanderson going inside. He goes that way. no advantage there in angle or distance. Back to Monkhorst. He's exactly where he was before. Kick by Monkhorst to the 50. Watson. Awkward half volley. James whipped away from him by Cal, and the ball out of bounds about 70 metres from goal.
Just over 2 minutes till three-quarter time. Melbourne out by 12 points. Their margin was 19 at the half, so we'll get to three-quarter time, you'd assume, with everything to play for. Rocker gets it down. Goes after it himself. Steins to Stephen Phoebe. Obst against the flow, left it behind. Crashing through down there is Francis. Wrestled to the ground. And the decision is holding the ball, is it?
Yep. Umpire said he had a chance to get rid of the football.
When Phoebe goes across the ground. Going back was Meets. He was held according to the umpire, and he'll get the free, and the Collingwood fans are not amused. Meets likely to play on Tuesday for Victoria. Goes across the ground. Cow finding plenty of space. He's about 75 metres from goal. Too high for Lyon. It runs free behind. Brilliantly picked up by Hassel. Held a long time in the tackle. He'll get the free kick. Magpie fans ecstatic, but not a lot to be gained from a free in the back pocket. Hassel puts it out of bounds on the full. No, Buckley marked it right on the line. Here's Buckley from half back. Kicks towards the wing. Rocker came at the ball. It was fisted away by Obst. Rocker runs it across the line. So the clock is down to 1:09 remaining in this term. Maybe a long quarter because only 3 goals. In front, Rocker. Could have got a free there. Primke has it. Well done, Primke. Out of the congestion, inside the 50 with a kick. Lyon, was he held? Not according to the ump. In there is Ryan. He overran it. McCartney was held. McCartney will get a free kick. Lyon's very unimpressed. McCartney has this kick, though, up towards half-back.
Across to Kelly. About a minute to go to three-quarter time. Great Kelly going for a run and a bounce. To centre wing. Gee, 2 against 1 there, Melbourne's favour. And Sanderson interfered. And the free kick is taken by Meets. On the bounce to half forward. Good gather by Rowe. Keeps the ball in. And then kicks it too far wide for Lovell. And we'll have a throw in. Time enough for a boundary throw in, and the Demons to get a goal from it. They lead by 12 points. Close to three-quarter time. It's been a low-scoring slog. Melbourne have kicked 1 goal to 2 in this third quarter. Dry, sunny conditions and not much breeze. You wouldn't expect such a low-scoring affair. Clean possession by Schwartz. And once again, as has happened probably 100 times today, the umpires had to come in and ball it up. Clock ticks down. Still may be time for Melbourne to get one before the three-quarter time siren. Palm down to Obst. Brown in over the ball. Another ball up. I'll let you call the ball up number 101.
Thank you. Almost three-quarter time. This will be the last action, I fancy. Oh, didn't get it down. Three-quarter time at Waverly Park. Collingwood supporters not impressed. Melbourne leads 7-5-47. The margin is 12 points over Collingwood, who are 5-5. The shadow stretching across the ground. Melbourne lead by 12 points. Not a pretty game. It's been tough. The breeze not a factor, but both sides have struggled to kick goals. Steins wins it down, taken by Wright. Hand passes back through the congestion. Phoebe lost it. This is Obst. Alongside the centre circle, Melbourne come forward towards half forward. McCartney knocks it Collingwood's way, taken by Krasiska. He slaps it out, gained about 10 metres. Cal with dash, feeds it wide. Matthew Phoebe, little chip pass, clever kick. I think Lyon had trouble with the sun. He also had trouble with the defender coming back. He's getting the free kick. It's against McCartney, who shakes the head.
Yeah, definitely free kick then. And Cowell did very well there coming through the centre. Doyle is off the ground to start this last quarter. You heard his right shoulder in a collision late in that third with Sean White.
Jakovic off in the second term. Ballantyne off as well with what appeared to be a serious knee injury. And now Lyon, very important kick this one, going at his second goal. And he's got it. No. There must be Collingwood supporters down that end. Big roar went up and Lyon misses. Certainly should have converted. He's missed a couple of pretty easy ones today. The margin is out to 13 points.
Yep, 1-3 to the Demon skipper. And in the final wash-up, Collingwood coming home with a slight breeze here. That could be vital. Kick in by Craig Kelly, looking for Monkhorst, who now has Doyle off the ground. Lyon punches forward. Phoebe gets it down to Lovell. Into... kick by Dyson, and Dyson's kicked the goal.
Great punch there too from Gary Lyon. He's obviously wanted to make amends for that missed shot. Got right up above Monkhorst in the kick out. Just watch this punch from Lyon. He really set himself to clear this ball back into the area. Bit of a fumble there by Steve Phoebe, and then Lovell just spooning it out very quickly to Dyson. And a correcting goal from the Demon to assist his skipper's miss.
Well, Kevin Dyson, ex-Oakley player, was picked as an emergency last week, finished up getting a game and was retained. And Dyson now has given the Demons a bit of a break. A 19-point lead early in the last quarter. Monkhorst, Viney takes one high but gets the hand pass out. Phoebe just took his eyes off it a bit, Matthew. Hand pass wide, right for Collingwood. Well played. Tingay, right, spinning out of trouble. Buckley. Kick by Buckley towards the 50. Gets to the back of the pack. Yates has been superb in the last line of defence. The boundary line will do him here. Stynes keeps it in. Well, was that deliberate? The umpire said no, Neitz was doing the right thing. And we'll have a boundary throw in. Doyle's gone off the ground, Dipper. Might hear from Dipper in a moment. Rocker wins the tap. Hasn't been playing full forward. He kicked 7 goals last week. He's goalless today, but he's been rucking in the second half. It's been a low-scoring scrap. Here's Brett Lovett. Back half, or back end of the centre square up to the front end. Lyon takes another free kick.
Well, I think it was accidental. No question about that. Hassel coming back with a fair bit of courage as well. It's an errant boot, I think.
Yeah, he's just got it across the shoulder there.
So Lyon still inside the centre square, kicks it out very wide, twisted away by Kelly. He goes again, with him is Schwartz. The ball is across the boundary line as we go back to Dipper.
Yeah, unfortunately for young Doyle, he's suffering from slight concussion, Dennis.
And a couple of hard knocks today. Monkhorst gets it down, but it's going to be a free kick. And it will be Collingwood's, so Monkhorst will take the kick from half-back. Kicks it towards Brown, who slipped as he was about to fly for that one, and Tingay just drifts in and takes the mark in front of him. Pops it back towards half-forward. Good mark to Dyson. Wants to go. Viney has it. 60 metres from goal. Kicks down towards full forward. In from the side. There the good mark is taken by Schwartz.
Just the 6 marks, but they've been critical ones today, particularly when he's converted to 2 goals, one on the second and one on the third. Now both at critical times, those goals, and this could very well be his 3rd very important goal.
Should get it. He's about 20 metres out directly in front. The margin currently at 19 points. He's added to it. Schwartz puts it through. The biggest margin in the game, and Melbourne have skipped away now, and in the context of the game, very good lead.
Just see this again, Tingay, who's been a fairly steady contributor. And Dyson Viney for me, who's been the creator midfield.
The Demons led by 20 points, 12 minutes into the 3rd quarter. This now the biggest lead. Hassel, former Teal Cup rover. With him is Andy Lovell. Hassel with pace. Keeps the ball in. Butcher, the hand pass a bit far for him. Grabbed by Steins. He missed the target. Steins again. Into Cal. Hurriedly onto the right boot. Drops a bit short. The mark taken by Krasiska. 25 points. Considering that Collingwood have scored only 35 in 3.5 quarters, it looks a tall order. The umpire will ball it up. It's 9-6 to 5 goals 5.
Bounce on the outer side then in the bright sunshine. Terrific day to play footy. Hard to explain the lack of production by both forward lines. Sanderson had it, then lost it. Phoebe tried to crash his way through, so did Brown. Over the ball is Buckley, met solidly by Dyson. In there is Cal. Well, admirable football from players of both teams there. And the bounce. That look says it all. Steins missed it. Brown over the ball, trying to shield it. Neats out backwards, taken by Butcher. Thought about the hand pass. Now he kicks. Yates is in front of Plain, and the ball pitches in front of him and goes out of bounds. Melbourne are perfect this season when they lead at three-quarter time. They've won 4 out of 4. And looking to go 5 out of 5 here this afternoon in their overall record. Their biggest winning sequence last season, just 2. Steins directs it down. Primke gets the hand pass away. Taken by Yates from right half back. He boots it around the outer side. In front Butcher. Could have almost got a free kick. Nothing doing. Lovell to Viney, who's been busy again. Comes up through the middle. Ill-directed the kick though. And McCartney takes the mark.
Well, Viney has been so busy. 31 disposals. Krasiska now. Up towards half forward. Well, Rocker was leading wide and the kick went behind him. And all he could do was turn on his heels and say, damn.
That's where Jim Steins has been good today too, Drew, backing back into that space.
Kick by Cal, over centre wing. 2-1 advantage of Collingwood. McCartney grabs it. The hand pass, Krasiska floats one to Brown. Has a quick look, waits for it to bounce. They need a couple of goals, Collingwood. Maybe Gavin Brown can supply. On the bounce to Plain, overruns it. Ooh, he went in hard. Grabbed by Dyson. Now to Tingay. Tingay waits, nearly caught in the tackle. Away to Stephen Phoebe. Up towards the 50. Krasiska again takes a good mark. Well, these teams came in with full forwards who had kicked 23 and 20 goals respectively. Jakovic and Rocker, and neither of them have goal today. Jakovic injured and Rocker playing in the ruck, and here he is since half-time.
As if on cue. Rocker's got the ball on the wing. And Collingwood need to get a wriggle on as he kicks in towards half-forward. Tingay goes up in front, and the mark is paid.
That's where they've fallen down all day, Collingwood. They've had no one to kick to it, and that half-forward area they could take control of the footy.
Here's Steins at left half-back.
Clever kick.
Yes. Hooked it around the corner and found Dyson. Here's a marvel, Steins. Schwartz back to Tingay. Tingay forward of the wing, kicks inside the 50. Good mark to Ryan. In front of Grinter. Grinter, who started on the bench. Ryan, who started on the ground, gets it across to Butcher in the true centre-half back position. He spent some time on the bench today. Under 13 minutes remaining. Melbourne with a strong lead now, 25 points. Great reflexes by Cal as it bounced back to him. The kick comes out wide from Neitz, taken by Schwartz. Gets it over the shoulder to the voice of Lovett. Taken on by Hassel, a good tackle too. Rhodes got problems, dragged down. In goes Tingay like a bumper car, twice. Bounced off a couple of Magpies. Got it to Obbs, at close quarters to Rode. Across it comes to Phoebe. Matthew Phoebe, boots inside the 50. Lovell will need to stretch. It bounces wide of line. Kelly did well, dived in there, got a fist on it. And now Butcher can tidy up. They risk everything across the goal face. Butcher got it to Ryan. Short one is on to Russell. Russell at centre half back, kicks to midfield. And the mark is held by Brown.
The skipper feeds Buckley in the centre of the ground. A very high ball, barely clears the centre square, but Sanderson takes a fine mark. Way too far out to score. Brendan Sanderson made his debut in Collingwood colours last week. after 6 games with the Adelaide Crows. Oh, what a kick! Well, offline he hooked it. A fist of the ball sees it go through for a behind. Collingwood need goals. They need 4 of them to get level. There's Alan Jakovic on the bench. He's been there since the second quarter.
Yates to bring it in. Almost indicating. Yates follows his example. Pops it across to Cal, who was the short man. And now Rowe. They worked it out of there very nicely, Melbourne. They've looked a bit aside all day. Collingwood have challenged a couple of times. This is Tengay. Unkind bounce, and he's content to just push it across the boundary line.
Not a silly move. He had 3 Magpies around him.
9-6 to 5-6. The margin 24 points. Longhorst wins it down. Intercepted by Cal, who's lifted since half-time. Held to him, says the umpire. The umpires have had a lot of work to do, particularly bouncing the ball, but also just breaking up these little thickets as the players get a little testy. Won by Stynes. Wide. Schwartz across the boundary line. Throw in. What about Todd Viney? 31 possessions, quite outstanding. Here he is, number 12. Russell has tried to go with him, hasn't been able. Stynes, Cal and Williams, 2 speedsters. Buckley tidies up behind the pair of them. Could have almost got a free kick. He's going to get one. Advantage is paid. Williams, the chip pass towards the wing, and Russell this time turns the tables and marks in front of Viney.
Scott Russell just back from a bout of glandular fever. Here's a free kick to Brown. Advantage to Collingwood. Sanderson about 25 metres up the ground. Takes it inside 50. A goal here will be handy. And Sanderson delivers. Maybe Collingwood. 3 goals behind.
Yes, maybe Drew, but I don't think so. They just don't have anyone really who's leading the way. They've had to rely on very few players today. You just can't afford to do that against any side, and particularly against Melbourne, who we've said so often just had so many even contributors. Very difficult to counter.
There's the margin and the time remaining. Out of the middle by Dyson, down towards half forward. Not a good kick though, well wide of the mark. Wright lays it off. Chipped out wide by Hassel. And this is Russell. Goes across the ground. Back to Wright. Wright. Long kick towards the outer side wing. Not bad policy. A chance for Butcher. He runs down to centre half forward. Long kick from 60 metres out. It's a very long kick. Rocker! Well, he had a decision to make. And I guess history will show he made the wrong one.
Yeah, it's a critical one, this one. It's easy to be tough from here, but I would have thought he had that under control and just didn't close his elbows into the chest, and the ball just flew straight through.
Margin 17 points. It's been kicked in, as you can see. Over the ball is Viney. Yet another possession. Gave it to Stynes. A bit happens behind play there. Yates towards the wing. Lyon in front. Couldn't hang on. Flicks it across to Tengay, the defensive side of centre wing. Tengay goes down towards half forward. Lovett is there with Francis. Getting back is Hassel. He's tried hard today. Across it comes to Ryan. Not a good kick. Taken by Fraser. He gets it to Buckley.
Kick by Buckley to half forward. It clears the pack. Look at the athleticism of Jim Stynes as he gets back there. Brown makes a contest. Oh, Stynes on his back. Wins a possession. In the back, a Collingwood free kick. It'll be taken by Williams. And you just can't discount Collingwood at the moment. They trail by 17 with 8 3/4 minutes left. We saw it last week in the Essendon game. 3 times this year, Collingwood have played games decided by less than 2 kicks. Oh, Stynes. Well, he's not as quick, but he's an athlete nearly in the calibre of Carl Lewis. I tell you what, he is fantastic the way he's adapted to this game.
There's 14 kicks, 15 handballs and 8 marks. Terrific game.
Primke, probing kick towards half forward for the Demons. Missed by McCartney, taken by Road. The hurried kick inside the 50. Lovell's got the run of it now. Back to goal. Forced a hand pass hurriedly. And the ball is slapped towards the boundary line there by Francis. And out she goes.
I wonder if it's close where there'll be much said about that disallowed goal of Gavin Brown.
Yes. Just before the break. Earlier today, Gavin Brown running into an open goal. Kicked the goal okay, but it was adjudged after the siren as this ball is knocked across the boundary line. And another throw in. That was just before quarter time. Road in front of Monkhorst. Clean possession to Road. Fell at Monkhorst's feet. He was held a long time in the tackle. He'll get the free kick.
He's had 4 free kicks and his total of 11, 7 marks, 17 headouts. Big monkey. Hassel going for a run to Brown. Brown's been a bit of a spark here. He applies the tackle. The ball held in, says the umpire. Listen to the Collingwood fans. For the record, free kicks 26-17 in favour of Collingwood.
There's been some strong tackles all day. In fact, there's been, let me see, 62 tackles.
Kick by Tingay to the 50. Over Grinter it goes. At the back, Lovett. Bursts a tackle. Goes goalwards. Brett Lovett could nearly seal it, but it's across the face of goal. Kelly gets back there and sees the ball out. We still have just less than 7 minutes left.
Lovett and Francis trudge wearily across the ground. Energy sapping afternoon this one. Monkhorst mishandled. Grinter tried to lay it into the path of Lyon. Socket off the ground by Plain. Opportunity for Wright. Collingwood away. Wright at right half back. Running down towards the wing. Kicks in that direction. Coming on the lead is Brown. He's been very strong all afternoon. Brown has the ball right on the wing. His 21st possession, but his work rate has been splendid. Centres the ball. Francis has got it now. Francis, a high one down towards centre half forward. Rocket props in front. Prunke did brilliantly. Kept his eye on the ball. 16th hand pass for Steins to Neitz. Neitz drives it towards the outer side. The chance to release Cowell. That was an unkind bounce. Kept his footing though. Well played by Cowell. Cowell forward at the wing. Goes down towards half forward. Ill-directed. Kelly. Good mark with the hands in front.
Just under 6 minutes left. And the margin 17 points in favour of the Demons. Viney with Russell. Good tackle by Russell. It spills to Brett Lovett. His little left footer up towards the 50. And the mark taken by Grinter, who's come off the bench for some action in this last term. Up he goes to Schwartz. Clears him. Kelly gets back. Gee, they're slowing down. Slides the hand pass away. Hassel to Ryan. Run down by Tingay. The ball stays in. I think he wants it out. He's done well. Fraser. Tingay keeps it in. Now the ball goes out. Well, the effort of 42 players here today has been superb. It hasn't really shown on the scoreboard where they've kicked only 15 goals between them in beautiful conditions. But both these teams are fighting out a traditional Melbourne-Collingwood clash. Francis kick, bounces through centre wing. Williams is there for Collingwood, bursts through the pack. Up to Sanderson, wide he comes to Brown. Gavin Brown, the skipper, approaches 50. Good shepherding by Buckley. Brown goes over the top with the hand pass. It should be a goal to Watson. The Pies still a chance. Margin 11 points.
Yes, he did well, Gavin Brown too. He looked as if he was going to keep running and have a shot himself, but he drew the player towards him, and Williams was bobbed up again. He's found it hard against Cowell today. He's done a very good job on him, but the skipper, as Dennis mentioned earlier, his work rate's been outstanding. Perhaps hasn't got the return for these disposals he would have liked, but on that occasion took the correct option.
Tony Shaw back on the ground. 11 points the difference. Collingwood keep on coming. Steins. Monkhorst going in the other direction. Matthew Phoebe out of the congestion. Cowell He's got blistering speed. Away goes again. So telling late in the game. He kicks towards half forward, but again, his disposal is poor. He's got to finish off his work. Francis has got this ball. Francis up towards left half back. Short one. Shaw. Close to the boundary line. The veteran. Over the top. McCartney. The young Tyro. Still plenty of time. Over 4 minutes. Collingwood don't have much breeze to speak of. It's just a very gentle zephyr. Well picked up by Williams. A flash of brilliance. That's what needed to decide this game, really. Down went right, and he's getting a free kick. So right inside the centre square. Goes short. Krasiska down towards half forward. Too far out to score. Pops it up. Shaw, surely a free kick. Stynes collided with the little man. And now Tony Shaw, to the delight of the Collingwood faithful, has a chance to put it under a kick.
Yeah, Jim Stynes, it was only his athleticism and preparedness to run back and pick up a man who wasn't even his. You can't see it, but he ran with his arms outstretched, trying to suggest to Shaw he was attempting to mark, but in fact you can't do that if you in fact touch the player.
Well, a game that needed a big finish. Thankfully we've got it. Shaw kicks. A lot of body English on the kick, and I think he steered it through. It's back to 5 points. He rode that one, Tony Shaw, and he rode it home.
Yes, it's going to almost be a match-winning move if they get up the Pies, bringing Shaw on this last minute to replace Bradley Plain. Here's the free. You might be able to see Stynes running down. Out go his arms. It's okay if he can do that if he doesn't touch Shaw, but if he impedes Shaw in any way, then it is a free kick.
Well, 5 points the margin, and Collingwood have just kept on coming. Viney to Obst, little hand pass in the middle. Obst gets it back, he's bowled over, and terrific tackle by Wright. It goes to Shaw. Obst for the third time, up towards the 50. Krasiska gets back there. Gavin Krasiska up the ground to Butcher. 3 minutes remaining, one kick the difference. Kick by Butcher, centre wing. Mark not taken by Fraser, and the ball goes out of play. Stephen Phoebe off the ground, Dipper.
Yeah, unfortunately one of Melbourne's playmakers is off the ground with a very bad ankle. He's having his ankle strapped at the moment.
There he is, number 21. Boots off, won't be back. Just 3 minutes left. At one stage, Melbourne led by 25 points in this last term. The margin now 5 points.
Desperation there of Todd Viney. He's like that all the time. He knocked over his own teammate in Tingo to get the footy.
21 hand passes for Todd Viney this afternoon, 34 possessions. His best was 22 against Geelong earlier this season. The best by an individual this season, 23 to McDermott. Stynes intercepted, taken by Russell. Russell kicks well inside the 50. Loose ball behind. Watson can't keep it in. Out of bounds and a throw in, right full forward. Still plenty of time. 2 minutes 23. Clock is stopped. Margin is 5 points. Melbourne in front. They've led all day. Trying to crash his way through was Brown. Hilton got it across to support. Away comes Viney. Viney boots it out wide at full stretches. Lyon. Still Lyon goes on the wing. Kicks it down towards half forward. It skids out of bounds. No. Kept in. Grinter did brilliantly. No, the boundary umpire was indicating out of bounds. They're playing on. The boundary umpire waving frantically. Hope the timekeepers have seen him. Grinter's got the ball.
There's 3 field umpires haven't noticed the boundary.
Now this is interesting.
They're going to bring it right back down, aren't they?
And where will they stop the clock? Where will they stop the clock? Well, that's touch and go anyway. Now the timekeepers have got to make an adjustment here, or will they? Let's go down to Dipper.
And that was right in front of me then, and the ball was still in play. Why the boundary umpire took him out, I don't know.
So boundary throw in inside 2 minutes.
So a throw in near centre wing. 1 minute 50 remaining. Monkhorst applies the tackle. Umpire's going to ball it up. Well, don't Collingwood give you value for money? In their last 2 games, they lost to Essendon by 4 points, and they beat Footscray by 1 point. The margin here is 5 points. Krasiska floats one over the top. Right. on the attacking side of the pack. Graham Wright with too much pace. He dashes away from Viney. Wright takes it all the way to half forward. A centering kick. Brown! Not quite. Cowles there for Melbourne. Williams applying the tackle. Yates is back there. Williams still in it. Dangerous hand pass. Brown again. Play on, says the umpire. Tony Shaw in the action. The umpire will ball it up. A minute remaining. 5 points the margin. The Demons in front.
Some fantastic chases and tackles there. Just magnificent footy. Best bit of footy for the whole game.
Who would have thought this, After the first 3 quarters, Walker got it down to Shaw. He went to ground, penalised for holding the ball.
It's got to be play on. It's not a free kick. Must be play on.
I think you're absolutely right.
Well, the ball spills free. It's play on.
I've had some heroes back here, Melbourne, in the dying minutes. Cal has been very good. He initiated that last attack around the grandstand wing. Pace could win this game. Both sides have got plenty of pace too. The ball is out of bounds, but we're down to 30 seconds now. A clean takeaway either way could decide this. The clock is stopped. 5 points the difference. A goal to win it for the Magpies. Right over the ball. Neitz is in there. Russell grabs Neitz, and we're down to 20 seconds. Clock continues to run. Collingwood will have to do something rather special from here to win. Great performance by them to get back. Steins decisively down to Dyson. It comes to Obbs. We're down to 5 seconds. Melbourne will win this. The ball is on the wing. Back goes Krasiska. But time, I think, will beat the Magpies. Krasiska's got the ball, but Melbourne have got the 4 points. Well, a game that gave so little for 3 quarters. Sensational at the finish.
This has been a Fox Footy presentation for Fox Sports.